Hello to my wonderful kindergarten, first, second, and third graders. Thank you for your attention today. This is Mrs. Bryant, and I am back with part 4 of our Code of Student Conduct. And part 4, it is entitled Breaches of Conduct. And that simply means someone who intentionally does not follow our school's rules and expectations. Someone who does not follow our Rochelle core values, which are, say them with me, respect, safety, active learning, showing unity, and being creative here at Rochelle. And in part 4, it lists in more detail of what some of those breaches of conduct are. The first one is abusive language or conduct in the presence of others. Abusive language or conduct, that means doing something that is, some people might call nasty. You say bad words, words that we don't use here at Rochelle. And I can honestly say that we don't teach those type of that language here. But we have students who are familiar with that language. Please know that we do not use that here at school. I can't control what you do at home. But here at Rochelle School of the Arts, we do not use abusive language or any type of conduct in the presence of others. Cheating is number 2. We look for people who are honest and showing integrity, those who do the right thing. Cheating is when you're given a test and you're not using your own thinking, but using the thinking of others. Number 3, and this is an area that many of students come to my office for, disruptive behavior or minor infractions. The minor things, but those minor things you keep doing over and over again. Disrespecting your teacher, not following directions, being mean to your classmates and others, interrupting the learning process. Remember, I told you back in part 1 that every student has the right to a public education. So when you're in a classroom of 17, 18 students, that means you are not the only one there who's there for learning. When you're being disruptive, you are stealing the learning from your classmates. You're keeping them from learning. And speaking as a parent, that would not make me happy. There are more of you than of your teachers. So it's very important that you are following directions and being respectful of the learning time, of the learning environment, and not being disruptive. And being disruptive meaning pushing and pulling, calling names, yelling out, just little things that are disrupting the learning environment. Don't be that person. Number 4, failure to return school board property. Also, again, in part 1, I believe, I shared that you all will be giving your one-to-one device. Typically, yours will be an iPad. That is not your iPad. That is property of the Polk County Public Schools. That's who it belongs to. You have the responsibility of taking care of it. At the end of the school year, you need to return it. It is not yours to keep. If it is damaged, if it's not returned, your parents will be held responsible for paying for it. So you do not want to put your parents in that place. Number 6, we're looking at physical attack. And I'm going to read it to you what this code of conduct says. It says, an actual and intentional hitting of another person against his or her will, or the intentional causing of bodily harm to another person. That's when you're hitting and clowning, because I know you like to horseplay. Stop. Don't do that. That is not why we're here. That is called physical attack, because the other person doesn't want it. So please do not do those things. And the first level it goes to for that is in school suspension or then out of school suspension. So we bypass all the office intervention. When you're putting your hands on another student, that is not tolerated. So please make sure you keep your hands to yourself. Number 7, school bus safety rules. In case you didn't know, by now, those of you who ride the school bus, I believe your drivers have gone over many of the school bus expectations. And know that when the expectations for the bus is the same for in school, in your classrooms. You have bus rules that you must follow. That includes standing safely outside in your location of where you catch your bus. Keeping your hands and feet out of the window. You should be sitting on your bottoms for safety's sake, because the driver needs to see in the direction in which he or she is going, rather than having to turn around and pay attention to you. The way you behave in the car when your parents are driving, it's the same expectation we have when you're on the school bus. So please make sure you're making good choices when you are. Number 8, we're looking at skipping class. And that is simply being in an unauthorized area. If you are supposed to be in your classroom at a particular time, I should not find out that you'll be hanging out at the cafeteria or you're playing around at the bathroom. You're missing your learning when you're doing those things. So it's very important that you are in class getting your instruction so that way you can be your best successful student. And I mentioned to you earlier, I believe in part 2, about being tardy. Knowing that being on time is necessary for all students to take full advantage of the available educational opportunities. If you're tardy, that means you're unable to get the instruction, and then you don't know what's going on. So make sure that you're in class on time, come prepared to learn. Those are just a few of the breaches of conduct that has been listed in part 4. We have more that are more serious, and I'll tell you more about those next time. Thank you for your attention again. Have an amazing day making those good choices, especially when no one is looking. We'll see you in the halls.